Hello, good afternoon. How are you all? Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a little while since I've been on. I think I've said that every time I've actually made a video. It's been a while. It's just I've been really busy with work. Work and sleep's been my life the last while. I do highway maintenance, so when it snows, I am out plowing, which could be 15 hours on, and then I have 8 hours off, and then right back to work again. So when those hours hit, that's pretty much all I do is work, something to eat, and sleep. I haven't done hardly any knitting or crocheting. I just have been too tired. Oh, my name's Janice. Sorry. I live in Alberta, Canada, in a small little community. I'd say central, a little bit more north. With my husband and my one son that still lives with us. And yeah, I think, I don't have any pets. Yeah, I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, actually. I get called into work for this evening. But I'm not used to sleeping during the day. I'm not a napper. So it's been a bit rough because I've been doing night shifts. So when I get home from work in the morning, I have 8 hours to get sleep and then go back in the evening. But I'm used to going to bed at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm at work. So my body's still trying to adjust to split shifts as well as working nights. The nights don't bother me as bad as getting used to split shifts, you know. So I picked up some knitting today. I thought I'd do a few rounds and then try to relax and possibly pass out. So I wanted to show you what I've decided to pick up and work on today. Some socks. Oh, look at the little stitch marker. Can you see it? I don't know. It's a little bit blurry. But this is made by Firefly Notes. If you've never checked her out, go check her out. She has all different types of stitch markers, but she also sells little cute tins to put them in. And I think these were maybe last year or new, the little sock progress keepers. There we go. Oh, I love it. I think there's maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 different colors for it. So I decided my feet get cold at work. I wear steel-toed boots, work boots and rubber boots, but for the life of me, I cannot get my feet warm. Cotton socks obviously aren't the thing, but trying to find wool socks that aren't going to cost me an arm and a leg. The other day I went and I seen a pair. They were 100% merino, but for one pair they were 35 bucks. So I decided to do some worsted weight socks myself and knit them and see how it goes. And I saw a lady on Instagram and Ravelry that was knitting worsted weight socks out of Woolies. Now I know that it's acrylic as well as wool, but I'm hoping that regardless they'll be warmer than the cheap cotton ones. And nowadays, I've noticed you can go get the wool socks. The gray ones have the white and red stripe at the top. Oh, they're wool, keep your feet warm. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're junk. I've tried them. I've tried putting 2 layers of them on. My feet still get cold. And firm believer, if you have like a warm head and warm feet, it helps to regulate the heat through your body. But yeah, so I decided to do a pair of socks out of this. And I have this left over from a cardigan that I did, which since moving, I still haven't unpacked everything. If I ever find it, I'll show you the cardigan that I made. So I got 2 balls, and I am doing this one and this one. Oh, look, this little stitch marker. It's a tape cassette. Isn't that freaking cute? I got that at Michael's. And I just put my own little clasp on it. But yeah, so I'm doing magic loop. Sorry, it doesn't look the greatest. 2 at a time. Because I seen a podcast, and I forget who it was. That's how she does it. Instead of doing 2 at one time on one magic loop, you knit. Like I did this, the cuff up. This is my first one. And then I went and did the cuff on this one. So now I've done to this far, but I still have about a ½ an inch to get this one up to this length. So that's what I've been, wanting to do is I'll do 2 inches on one, 2 inches on the other. So simultaneously, I'll have 2 socks done at the same time. And I got lucky because I had the 2 set of needles, because the last socks that I did, I don't know what it's called. Like this is magic loop, but where it's you hold 2 circling needles together and you're working on both. I don't know if there's a name for that. There might be. If there is, leave it in a comment. I just know it's 2 circular needles and you're knitting socks on them at the same time. That made no sense. So we'll see how this goes with oops, I have a pretty bad setup. I just knocked you guys all on your heads. Sorry, did I wake you up? Are you awake now? If you're not, well, if you weren't, then you might be now. Yeah, so I'll see how these work for my work boots. If it's a bit of a difference. Hopefully I can get these done pretty quick. Actually, this was in like just a little bit of an evening here. I think I started them a little over a week ago. No, maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, probably more like 2 weeks ago. But I want to show you a couple more things. I think my body's starting to tell me that, you're going to work soon. So, shut down time. But this weekend I was able to hit up to a couple Christmas markets. I love Christmas markets. I love them. They're festive. But I will say, if it says that it's homemade Christmas market, I like to go in and see homemade stuff. And one I went to was not homemade stuff. It was corporate. Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but when I go to homemade Christmas market, I don't want to see Tupperware. I don't want to see Avon. I don't want to see Epicure. I know these ladies are making it's a job. They're making some money off it, but at the end of it, it's supporting a corporation. And this time of the year, I want to support people who are doing things that are actually homemade with their hands. Yeah, I'm not trying to offend anybody. It's just that's how I feel about it. Is if it's a homemade market, I want to see homemade stuff. Whether it be woodworking, homemade jewelry. I bought, actually a couple weekends ago, I bought some really cool button earrings. I've wanted to make myself for the longest time. Just like cute little buttons, but never did. So a lady had, oh my goodness, she had to have hundreds. So I bought some. I should have actually brought them out to show you because they're John Deere green. I'm a John Deere fanatic. And I even got something I'm going to show you in a second. But yesterday, there's a lady that goes to a knitting group that I do here in town. She does socks, hats, and mittens out of Briggs & Little. I think it's Roven. So I got, actually I'll take that elastic off. Some mittens that she made. Oh, and of course it's got the green. Green's my favorite color. But you know what's odd about that? I love green, but I hardly have any green yarn. It's weird. I love green. A little backstory to why I love green. My father was a truck driver for years, and the company he worked for was green shirt, green pants, green jacket, green hat. So everything about my dad growing up was green. And even on days he didn't work, he still had his work clothes on. Everyone knew my dad, just seen him, he was wearing green. For years, like growing up, even after I had moved out, he was still wearing green. He doesn't as much anymore because he doesn't work anymore. He had to leave work due to a heart attack, but it just gave me the love of green. It's the same as a number that's special to me is 8812. My dad's truck at work was 8812, so I always looked up to my dad. When I was young, I wanted to be just like my dad, to be a truck driver, which a dream came true for me 8 years ago. Sorry. I am now a class 1 truck driver. So it's a good feeling. You know, made my dad proud. I'm a truck driver. My brother is a truck driver. My nephew's a truck driver. My sister's husband's a truck driver. My partner is a truck driver. It's a big old happy family of truck drivers. But yeah, so I got these from her yesterday, and she is also making me a custom pair of sock slippers of the same stuff that is going to go up to my knees, because the rubber boots I wear go to my knees. So we're going to test it out and see how it makes a difference for my feet and my leg for warmth. And if it does, then I'm going to commission some more from her, because I just don't have the time right now to knit myself a bunch of those socks. And then when they're done, which actually I went into their marketplace today. Yesterday when I seen at the marketplace, she only had this much done, started on the first sock. I went in today and she has both of them already. The legs are done down to the freaking heel. I love the knit ladies. They're a fantastic group of ladies. But yeah, so there's the socks that I'm working on, and I'm going to try to, after I'm off here, maybe get another hour worth of it. And my goal, well, it's not really a goal. I like to get at least about 5 inches done on both legs. So I'm going to do these. I was thinking 7 inches, but I think where I have 2 full balls of this, the woolies, I'm thinking I might just go like 10 inches. Why not just get them right up my leg? Try it anyways. But yeah, and another thing that I scored yesterday, because I love supporting people who are doing things homemade, so I love markets. There was a gentleman sitting there. It reminded me of Grizzly Adams. Have you ever seen the movie Grizzly Adams? Oh, and he was selling stuff for his wife. She wasn't there. It's when you see husbands or boyfriends get involved with their honey's crafting, I wanted to hug him and be like, thank you for doing this for her. Thank you for, being here and selling her stuff. Well, without holding off any longer, here it is. And this is the other side. It's got some handles. It's a nice big bag. So this is made out of drapes, like old curtains. She's refurbished them. Oh, and there's pockets at each end as well. There's a pocket here. And you know what? It was $10. She's selling these for $10. I got a few of them. And then I went back today. I'll show you that in a second. And I kept telling him, tell your wife, thank you. Tell your wife, beautiful work. And he just kind of chuckled. He's like, haha. I always do. Because I always go home from these markets and I tell my honey, you know what? It was a hit. It was a hit. Oh, bless his heart. Made me happy. This I'm going to be putting Cozy Up Knits. They're on here and Facebook. Not Facebook anymore, really, but on Instagram. They did put out a blanket pattern for an advent for a lady. And you're doing 3 different types of squares. So I have some leftover Patons Canadiana that I'm going to just do these squares. I started to start one last night, but I decided to stop and say, no, I want to do my socks. I also am halfway through doing a gift for my daughter, which I'm not going to say what it is on here because I know she watches my podcast. Sorry, Desi, but not today. And I think after Christmas, maybe January 1st, I will cast on that blanket, because if you haven't, Go on Instagram, look up Cozy Up Knits, or look them up on here on YouTube. They have their patterns also on Ravelry. This blanket looks really intriguing. I mean, although I still should be finishing my granny square blanket. And then the other thing I wanted to show you too, anyone who knows me knows I love green, of course, but I'm also a John Deere fan. I'm not, anyways, I won't even go there. I love John Deere tractors. Never owned one. Not even a John Deere lawnmower, but I think a lot of it's because they're green. So this lady who's local to where we live, she's called the Bag Lady on Facebook. I just happened to see one of her sales she had on here 2 weekends ago, and I near fell out of my car seat. Oh, I don't ride in a car seat, but a car seat in a car. Shut up now. But look. It's got handles, you can pull them tight. How cool is this? It's funny because my husband was like, he likes Massey Ferguson tractors. To get excited over something like this, I have John Deere socks. I have 3 John Deere hats. I have John Deere hoodies. I have John Deere t-shirts. One thing I haven't got yet is a John Deere muggy. A mug, not a muggy. I'm still needing to get a John Deere mug. I should just get one custom made. Because I love John Deere. I love the color, I like the yellow. And the deer, of course. But yeah, so I got that for myself. I thought it was a little treat because I love John Deere. Oh, the other thing was from today. So we went back to that market today because my husband won a door prize. He won 2 door prizes from these craft fairs. I was like, really? Oh, I forgot about this. There's a lady selling hand soap. It's Nitty Gritty Dirt Bar. Because when I'm working, I do not like putting gloves on. So there's times I have to get my hands in salt and sand. Or it could be anything. Hydraulic oil. I'm sorry. Bad for wearing work gloves. Just a second here. So, I was told to get some of this from her. It's got grit in it, and apparently it helps take the stuff off because my knuckles this time of the year get kind of swollen and really, really, really dry. And then when I'm playing in the work truck and all that stuff, my hands get pretty dark. So I got some of this to try on my hands. I kind of smelled, like I told it today, it kind of smells like eucalyptus, even though there's not eucalyptus in it. But it does. It smells like that Vicks stuff that you know those things you can kind of put up your nose and supposed to help clear you out. It smells like that. But this lady that makes these bags also does over-the-shoulder bags. Look at this. And it's got a really long strap to put over your shoulder, so you could go like this. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? And it's so sturdy because it's made with drapes. And it's a good thing that I actually got his email today because I got the small one. He had big ones there too. But I have a habit that if I have a big purse, I put the kitchen sink and the bathroom in it. I put too much stuff. So I figured today get the small one so it can hold just enough stuff. But then now part of me is like, oh, I should have got a big one. Because if I didn't use it a purse, I could have put a knitting project with me where I went. But I have his email. I think I'll be purchasing some more. Desiree, tell me what you think, because I know this is up your alley. So yeah. One more thing I wanted to show you. I happen to be going through some stuff that I had packed for a while. I started these 4 years ago. I'm just going to show you. Isn't that pretty? I did it in Bernat Bulky, I think or was it Red Heart? One of those two that has, that big bulky yarn. And I was going to ideally make a blanket, but we were living in Saskatchewan, Canada, and we moved back. They don't carry, if I'm correct, I think it's the yellow or the green they don't carry anymore. So I end up only making, I think I have 6 or 8 of these. And I don't know really what to do. So I thought about make a pillow. Put 4, if I have 8, put 4 and 4. Make a great big, nice, comfy pillow. Because I really don't want to make any more of them. I don't want to go buy more yarn and make a bunch more squares, even though these went really quick. And this was a pattern offline, a sunflower pattern. I do not remember who did it because it's been so long, but they're beautiful. I want to do something with them. So if you have an idea, my thought was to do a pillow. Or I was even like, what if I did it so they kind of hung up like a valance, like a top of a window? But then I'd have to make more because my windows are pretty wide here. But I just want to show you because it brings back a lot of memories. It was a hard winter that winter. I was living in a different province away from one of my children. And these brought me happiness, these sunflower blocks. So, yeah, I probably should go to bed and try to rest. You know, I've always thought, and it's kind of worked for me, that sometimes if you don't sleep, but if you just kind of snooze or you're just resting, it can kind of count as if you are sleeping. But yeah, I just want to do a little check-in, say hi, and hope everybody's doing well. Tell me, are you guys getting winter where you're at? Are you in warmer climates? I know here, as an example, tomorrow night it's going to be going to minus 35, and that's before wind chill, so kind of figure probably about minus 44 at nighttime. It's been pretty chilly here with the wind. That's why I need to get these knits done to stay warm. Or what are you working on? Share what you're working on. What your weather's like there. And yeah, I'm gonna head off. I might post a few pictures on here at the end of my Christmas tree and my plants. I love plants. I'm slightly obsessed. I got lots, and my daughter is the same thing. I kind of got her hooked on them. So now when we go out, we're constantly like telling each other, hey, look at the plant that I got. So yeah, maybe I'll post some pictures of the plants. I just got a big, beautiful monstera here about a week ago that I've been wanting forever. My favorite plants, I love spider plants. They're probably my favorite. Snake plants, umbrella plants. But yeah, I hope everyone's well. And, you know, just doing okay. It's a hectic time of the year, I think, for everybody. Everything's fast-paced right now. It's moving fast. So remember to take time for you. Even if it's a moment just to sit and read a book, some soft music. Sometimes when, you know, I'm needing it, I'll put a podcast on. Oh, a podcast I've been watching lately is called, I think it's called The Republic of Me. She does a knitting podcast she's on an island. Oh gosh, I think the Mediterranean. Oh, when I put her on, I just relax. I get about halfway through her podcast and I fall asleep. Not saying that her podcast is boring, because it's far from it. I always finish it when I get back up. But she just has this soothing, I love her podcast. So look up The Republic of Me. I think you'll enjoy it. But anyways, I'm going to go do a little bit more knitting and see if I can get some rest before I go to work tonight. Everyone take care.